Morning, Keith. How are you?
Yeah, great. How about yourself again, Mike?
Yeah, good. Ready for session 2?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So you've got the retro polo shirt on.
Well, my X-Pac shirt.
Yeah. Well, where's the Dynamics pack? We changed names about 6 years ago.
Well, I think the Dynamics Pack shirt's still in the wash, to be honest, and some of us can still wear shirts from 6 years ago, so I'm happy with that.
Oh, very good. I've lost some weight during lockdown, actually, feeling strong.
Good man.
Okay, so session 1 and the overview of the Microsoft Business Application Summit went quite well. I've had some positive reactions, so I think people have got an appetite, or at least those who watched session 1 have got an appetite for session 2. We're going to talk more about Power Platform in particular, I think.
Good. I mean, it's great stuff. I'm hoping people are just beginning to play with it and enjoy it themselves a little bit. It's so easy just to connect one bit to another bit, connect a bit of Power BI to one of your spreadsheets, have a play, see what it can do.
Let's go into the slides and have a talk about what you've got to report.
See you in a second. There we go.
Okay, so enterprise and governance, is this in relation to a particular project, or is this IT centric?
Yeah, this is talking about IT, or organizational governance of IT. We've mentioned a couple of times already, that with this plethora of applications being developed by users,
Yeah.
IT will want some control of what data are they accessing.
Yeah. So my question earlier, I jumped the gun a little bit. Okay, so what developments have they made around that?
So specifically, Microsoft are trying to encourage centers of excellence being built within customers. This doesn't only apply to the Power Platform. For example, in the deployment of the ERP projects, they're really focused on trying to build more expertise within the customer, so the customers are more self-reliant overall in the projects that are being delivered in their IT governance, particularly around the Power Platform. They've released the Center of Excellence Toolkit. You can see there's 4 main areas where they're looking to build tooling around security, around monitoring what's happening, around alerts and functions for the IT organization, and around nurturing or developing the Power Platform environments. So within the security, there's the data lifecycle policies editor. So you can look at how long you can categorize documents into different types. You can set how long you should retain different types of documents in the organization, what should happen to them, who can get at them. And there's a bunch of tools there around the security lifecycle. With all of these applications, they're all consuming Azure compute power, little bits of licensing, little bits of database, and all together they could be making very large scale access to the Microsoft Azure services, and they're basically charged on a usage basis. So IT are going to be able to want to monitor what's being used, how heavy is the usage, what are the costs of that, are tools that have been written performing properly, are they executing without errors, so there's audit logs so you can see what's been happening. You can use Power Automate, the workflow generator, to kick off messages, so you can set messages at certain levels of usage or certain levels of error. So a whole bunch of tools for IT to help them monitor and control how the Power Apps have been deployed into the organization.
And that's where the experience and the caliber of the partner comes in, because a lot of this sort of increasing customer capability, one might think made the partner redundant in some way, but of course it doesn't. We've always said within Dynamics Pack that to make a successful D365 ERP project, you need a customer with the skills, capability, and commitment to make the project a success. And this just makes that job easier and allows the partner to concentrate on the higher level experience elements of the project that they need to.
Very much so, because within a customer, hopefully they're only going to deploy an ERP system something between every 10 and 20 years. They're only going to deploy a center of excellence for the Power Platform once. Whereas we do that 10 or 15 times a year. So we should build a whole degree of expertise and ways of doing things that will be very beneficial as we work with partners and Microsoft to deploy this technology. There's probably less for us to do in any given piece of technology, but there's many hundred times more pieces of technology to deploy. So I don't see that role disappearing too much.
Okay, brilliant.
And obviously it's all built on Microsoft's incredible data centers. They're as secure as a data center could possibly be. They're almost infinitely scalable with regards to power. They've got massive amount of self-monitoring, self-alerting tools supported by the Microsoft organization. So there are people there to keep an eye on things. Microsoft, certainly over the last, half a decade, have put a massive emphasis on making sure their data centers and their tooling and their databases and SharePoint are secure from a cybersecurity perspective. Implementing your own cybersecurity is quite a big job, but using Azure, it's pretty much done for you. Certainly everything that's in the cloud, everything that's behind the browser is done for you. You've just got to look at things more local to the organization.
Yeah, okay. And you mentioned, sorry, Keith, go on.
The identity and access management for all these different apps is all taken from Azure Active Directory, one single sign-in, one place to set up your login and password. It's just enterprise class stuff that you can deploy in, tools you can build and deploy in hours. Just
to pick up on something you said in the previous slide, you said that you change your ERP system every 10, 20 years, but most people are implementing ERP now. The experienced people have been through one or two iterations of that process, but now Microsoft have transitioned to the cloud and Azure, and everything is starting to look really good and reliable in terms of what you're talking to us about in these sessions. Surely this is the last ERP or CRM or business environment you need to buy, isn't it?
I'd like to hope so. I mean,
in our working
lifetime, hard to make that as a promise to a customer, but in truth, you and I have been working together since 2006, and there's dozens and dozens of companies we've put Dynamics into since 2006 who are still using it and likely to for the foreseeable future. So
I mean, there was some pain between the on-premise and the cloud transition, but most of them have seen the benefits.
Well, very much so, and the whole evergreen application lifecycle, how you move to an ERP that doesn't require these massive updates and doesn't get locked into historic versions is probably something we should discuss in another video sometime.
Okay, no problem. Listen, I know that's the end of this session. Is there anything to add, or we've reached a conclusion? Oh, we've reached a conclusion.
Thank you. That's a happy ending, Mike.
Don't. So that's great. So I'll see you in a couple of days. We're going to do the common data services review in more depth.
Absolutely.
Right. Take care, mate.